Another 6 SCVs going down. Raws almost double on the workers, but if we look at the income, he's mining less efficiently because it's so far from this Nexus. Oh, this is amazing. Today we're going to be watching a StarCraft 2 replay and casting it from our RathFr Snarly, aka the RathFr Raws. It's been a while since we've done a StarCraft 2 game, and this should be pretty interesting. The most interesting question in here being, of course, can I remember all of the WCS 3.0 actual caster commands? Let's see for a second. Follow this guy. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we got some of these. We got some of them. Now, over here, we do have the PPBB. Interesting name. Now, what he doesn't know is that Raws is coming over here with a probe. It's a very early probe, so either he suspects something or he's doing something. Does have a gateway at home, so it looks like he's going to be able to make some units. Now, if we take a look at what's in the Terran's base, he's getting a gas. Just started that, getting a barracks. So, probe comes in here. Can we take a look at his vision for a second? Looks like he's watching the probe, sends an SCV, click on it, pretty normal. Ross is doing harassment. Terran player, PPBB, watching the probe. Probe does a little attacking harassment here. And this is all very normal, so let's take a look at everyone's vision. Again, Ross has a second probe. Okay, now we're getting weird. Why are there two probes? Ross, what are you doing? So he's microing this one. He's going back home. He's got a gateway done. Making a cyber core. Okay, that makes sense. Now, why are there two probes, though? He's got to build something. You don't do this without building something. If you don't build something, this doesn't make any sense. Okay, gas steel is not a... I mean, you could, but it probably wouldn't do anything at this point. Oh, is it a bait? It's a bait. Does he see it? Ross just wanted him to forget about the second probe, and then it runs out. Okay, so he chased the one probe away. Ross kept the other one hidden. Real smart move. And then once he knew it was hidden, you see what I saw? You see it? Then he runs it out. So Terran thinks everything's fine, but what he doesn't know, you see it, guys? He built a Nexus in his base. We're doing the Nexus recall. Good old Nexus recall. Now, what is he going to recall? So we got a Zealot. Cancels the cyber core. That must have been a misclick. That must have been a misclick. There's a shift L for this. Can't see. He lost 87 minerals. So Raws here, he's got his plan going. I'm not sure it's a good plan, but it is a plan. Now, Terran player here has been tricked a little bit. He's got a bunker going up to defend the front of his base. He's got a marine. He'll probably make some more to defend himself with. Get a nice little factory. Is this going to be a 1-1-1 build here, maybe? Does have his CC almost done. Orbital. Now, Raws needs, what is it, 100 energy for recall? Or that's the mothership's recall. Now, what he does, he's getting the cyber... Okay, so the Reaper's going to come here. What is the Terran's reaction to this? Okay, so he sees a cyber core and 3 zealots. Immediately, that should not make sense. At all. Also, this is terrible. Reaper Micro, go hit the probes, please. No, go hit the probes. This is this vision, by the way. Okay, there we go. Now, there's only 4 probes here. Again, very weird. What he doesn't notice, look in his base. He doesn't see it. Oh, he sees it now. He pulls the probes. Raws has got his workers in here. He's got his zealots in here. He's attacking the guy's command center. The big recall went off. Terran's a little slow to react, but now he's getting his base attacked. He's going to float his factory. Didn't get any units out of that. Unfortunately for him, a single Helion would have been really good here. Raws forces the CC to lift, and he's taken over Terran's main base. Back home, he is getting shot by this one Reaper. These are probably Stalkers or Adepts. Yeah, they're Adepts. That'll clear up that Reaper. And now Raws has a base in his opponent's main. So the effectiveness of this damage is that what? What did he lose? 11 SCVs died there. Oh man, that was a slow reaction. He's just mining from the guy's base. Oh, I love this. Just mining from his base. Force him to float to the natural and just steal his base and just long distance mine to your Nexus you recalled from. I don't think I've seen anything better than this in like the past month. This is hilarious. That being said, Raws is up on workers, but they're not mining very efficiently. I don't think this is very efficient, but the Terran here should land that second orbital. Yeah. Landed over here. Now, Ross does have these 2 adepts outside. There's only 1 Marine. Little does Ross know if he ran in right here, 4 Marines versus 2 adepts. Pretty good fight for him. He is coming in. The Terran is getting, looks like he's ready to come bust back in here. Raws saving up minerals. Might want to build another Nexus here. I don't know about that. But, oh man, these adepts. This one's got, what, 3 kills? This one's got 4. They did kill a Reaper. That's a lot of losses. Another 6 SCVs going down. Raws almost double on the workers, but if we look at the income, he's mining less efficiently because it's so far from this Nexus. Oh, this is amazing. Now, landing this planet or orbital here, you're going to get another base. I cannot believe. This is hilarious. He's mining less efficiency with double the workers. You don't see that very much. That is for sure. Now, back home, Raws does actually still have a base, which is more than the Terran has in their main. And it looks like he just finished chronoing. He's going to recall his probes back. Smart. Going to go mine some more efficiently here. We'll need another Nexus here right about now. Almost has the money. His income should shoot up here a little bit. But from this high ground... Oh, the tank. That tank could be a problem. He's going to snipe. Oh, pulls back. Now, does Raws notice about the tank? He sees the tank. He should pull back. Yeah, that's a good move. Now, as long as he just denies this main, he should be good. Any more adept harassment should come here. He should know that the third base is the vulnerable spot here, because he sees a tank here, he sees these Marines, he knows there's the bunker. There can't be that much other defense, so he should send any more harassment he has over here. That being said, we're not sure how much harass Ross can really afford. He's got this Nexus on the way, that's good for him. Looks like everything's working out alright. If we take the upgrades for a second, he did get Warp Gate, that's it. And then we have no more upgrades on the way. He is getting his Twilight Council now, so an upgrade will be coming. Blink, most likely, could be Charge. He's making more and more Stalkers now. It's probably Blink. Although you could always pick Charge and then make a bunch of Zealots. More Zealots. Oh, harassing this, that's nice. Nice pick off there. Unfortunately for Raws, it wasn't doing upgrades. Okay, he's going to get flanked by the Marines here, but he can flank with his own Zealots. This tank really anchors all of the defense here for the Terran. If Raws can get these Marines to bait out of that tank range, you can have some very good fights. But then the Marines will just kite back into the tank range, so you have to be careful about that. Another tank is coming, which will help quite a bit. And I'm impressed this game has turned out to be so calm. Okay, this barracks now getting harassed. This tank might want to move. Marines coming in here. Raws, the Zealots on hold position. Does he want to move them back? He does. Okay, a little bit of fire here. That's not bad. SCB is repairing it. That's pretty good. The story of the game here, though, is that BB is back up in workers. It's up 31 to 29. Supplies are even. Game is basically completely evened out somehow. Now, this barracks is getting harassed. Second tank should kind of force this back. The question is, okay, so Raws is getting charged. If he got Blink, he could blink onto these 2 tanks and kill them and take a fight. But instead he's getting charged, and that'll also work out really well for him, although I'm kind of confused why he's not making more Zealots then. Keeps warping in Stalkers. Is there something here? Got Vision. Okay, 10 workers on this base. Still not great defense here for Raws. More barracks coming down. BB can't build in his main because that's Raws' area now, so he's just gonna hang out over here and build on the low ground. Honestly, it might help defensively from these 2 positions because he gets like a tank stuck, like gets like a tank back in here. It'll be very hard for Raws to get to, and even the Zealots have to charge so far to get to it. It's a really good spot, even if they can reach it with charge. Well, I mean, get to it to cast the charge. These 2 tanks holding strong down here. Raws amassing more and more Stalkers. Upgrade. Okay, he almost has charge. He almost has Templar Archives. So he's going to go into real tech here. Terran finally getting 1-1. That is a very delayed 1-1, starting at about 9 minutes. And he is getting another command center right here to get his 3rd base. He'll have 3 bases, but not his main. Love it. Now, Raws is doing a little harass here. Just poking down. Our Terran player is supply blocked, which isn't great. A little more damage from Raws. Now, any medevacs could make a big difference here. There aren't any on the way, but Raws is still just making some probes. He fell really far behind on workers. I feel like he shouldn't have let that happen. He was up 26 to 11, I think. A lot of trades here. This is, as long as it's out of range with the tanks, I think it's good for Raws. But he has 1,100 minerals. Where are the gateways? How many gateways are we at? He has 5 gates. That's not enough. This guy's gonna move up here. Raws needs to warp in a round of zealots right now if he wants to survive, because these Marines are almost getting their 1-1 in stim. Oh, maybe, did he actually get 1-1? No, he's getting +1 attack in stim, not 1-1. Sorry. My mistake. So, +1 attack in stim will be very deadly here. Raws needs to find out this base, and Raws needs to catch up on probes. He needs another base. He has plenty of minerals. Is he going to warp in more gateways? Come on, man. Make some gateways. There we go. We got 2 in production. Couple Archons here. Raws really far behind on workers. He just needs another base. I guess he didn't realize how much damage he did earlier. Little run by here. Did he take out any more SCVs? 3 more. That's not bad. But the issue here is if we take a look, Raws lost 1 probe and PPBB lost 20 SCVs, and Ross is behind by 10 workers. Okay, Zealots charge forward here. Bit of engagement. A couple Stalkers go down, but the Marines are driven back. What Raws really needs... Okay, good. I was about to say, got Zealot coming in here, got Zealots coming in here, Zealots over here. The Terran is very high. It has more workers, like I said, but he's very spread out. His defenses are all kind of anchored here, and they can't go anywhere. Like I was going to say, they can't go anywhere. This stuff's on the high ground. Raws comes in, picks off both tanks, has high ground control. There's no more tanks anchoring this position. There's no medevacs for these Marines. They're almost done, but they're not here yet. And as long as they're not here, Raws can keep taking these good fights like this, keep holding this position. And as long as he's here, the Terran won't be able to spread out his, move his defense around him. Like, this base has had his workers picked off, or driven away. This base had workers driven off earlier, and some died. Now they're back in his reinforcements, and you're being picked off by Zealots, and our Marine goes down here. Now, the Terran's finally pushing up here. Raws using all of his arc skills to build an arc here, then shoot down. This is not what you want to be doing, though. There's a lot of Marauders down here. Well, a lot of Marines and Marauders. Only a couple of Marauders, but the number of Marines is very high damage. I would not try and fight this. +1 armor now coming in. Raws saying Blink and Storm. Very nice upgrades. The question is, he went for charge first, but didn't make very many Zealots. I think his gateway count is still too low. What are we at now? Is that 7 gates and 1,500 minerals? 1,600 minerals? Not a great combination. However, he is taking a lot of doing a lot of poking at his Terran opponent, sniping off buildings. Looks like there's a lot of repair. Looks like he told a bunch of SCVs to repair, and they started mining. Just right-clicked on it. And now we have a lot of Marines building up. I mean, Raws, that's a lot of units. What do we got? 32 Marines. Look at this here. If these armies fight, Raws will get smashed. 36 Marines, 5 Marauders, and 3 medevacs versus 12 Stalkers and like 5 Zealots. Okay, another good run by here. Now, the problem for Raws is he hasn't actually gotten any upgrades for his units other than like the ability ones, like Charge, he's named Blink, and Storm. He doesn't have like +1/1 or like plus armor. He doesn't have those upgrades, so these Marines are going to be trading pretty efficiently, and these Liberators will force him back. Terran opponent will be getting this high ground back. There's just too much here. There's just too much. Unless Raws has a Storm here, or like a couple Archons he warps in over here, his Terran opponent will be able to take this back right now. Almost doubling the army supply. Problem for our Terran opponent is he doesn't actually know that, and he's being very slow here. Raws distracting again with another good run by. Only 1 Zealot though, and it will get surrounded and killed by these SCVs without doing any damage other than lost mining time. Reinforcements here, cleaning up another Zealot. Raws needs a bigger commitment on these run-bys. Looks like he's setting up another base here. He does need more gateways. Double Forge, good call. I'm not sure about this Adept Glaives he's going for. Also not sure if that's what he wants to be chrono boosting right now. Might want to save those for his 1/1s. And it looks like the Stalkers do end up getting picked off here. Although, if we take a look here, only 4 of them go down. So Raws blinked them away or recalled them. They're not here anymore. They didn't die. You don't see their bodies anywhere. They're probably in the main. Oh, speaking of the main, here comes a drop. And looks like a bunch of Zealots are here. Raws recalled them to the natural. Or recalled them and moved them to the natural. If he has a blink, he could pick blink on this. Not the best blink. Also not the best base layout. We hear his scan go down, probably checking the 3rd. And that is what happened here. He was checking the 3rd in an interesting manner. 1/1 starts to Raws. He should chrono those both, and he does. Now both players are still right around 45 workers, but the RME for PBBB is just so much better. Look at this. He has, if we take a look at the units again, he has 50 Marines, Liberators. Raws has 4 Storms. That will count for something. It will come down to how good these storm splits are, but Stalkers don't trade very well in a straight-up fight with Marines, and Archons will probably get melted before you get there, so it's just going to be on these storms. It's only 7 Zealots to tank. It's getting to a very close game, and look at this. PBBB has retaken his main base at 14 minutes. Probably about 14 is when this CC started, 14, 15, something like that. Raws sends the 1 Zealot. These 1 Zealot run-bys aren't doing a lot. He probably needs to commit more than 1. Because they're just getting picked off and then surrounded by SCVs. However, you may be distracted by this drop. Adepts will begin. These are glaive adepts, so that will help versus these big marine balls that are coming. I'm not sure it's enough to trade efficiently. He is getting 1-1, and the Tyrant stopped his upgrades, which is really good for Raws. If you can wait for this 1-1 timing, by the way, good blink here. Blinked in on that medevac, picked it off. If Raws can actually get these 1-1 to finish before he fights, he has a really good chance. His Tyrant opponent not starting those upgrades probably doesn't have the armory. That's my guess. And yeah, he didn't build the armory yet, so he doesn't have those going. Another scan. Is he checking this base? No, Raws going for the gold. Okay, big army coming in here. This is going to come down to the storms. There's 4 Templar. They have 150, 170 energy. He's going to shade on top. This might be the big fight of the game. And they're going to finish the shade. The storms will come down. He comes in with a flank from the Adepts. More Marines coming in here. Raws forcing him back. And it looks like this fight's going really well for PBBB. He just has so much more army. There's the first storm. We need these storms to connect. If the storms connect, Raws has a chance. That is one of the worst storms I've ever seen, and it just destroyed like 30 Marines. Oh my goodness. PBBB, you're up by 70 supply. What is this? Another Blinken from Raws. Snipes the Liberator. Really good shot there. We have the Templars coming in, and another storm might be coming. The tanks will force him back for now. Marines rallied through. 3 kills for Raws, and overall that trade really good for him. Oh no, don't bring the SCVs back, then get picked off. Ah, PBBB, what are you doing, man? That was exactly what Raws needed to do and exactly what PBBB didn't want to do. Now Raws has shrunk down the army. If we take a look how many Marines just died there. Oh, 100 Marines have died so far. At least 30 died there. Let's check the units. He had 50 before that fight, down to 26, and he's been producing. A lot of Marines died. Raws just has his gold base up. He's still only at 36 workers. He has the he doesn't really have the minerals. He needs to focus on his economy. +2 attack, really good. I'm pretty sure he waited for 1-1 before that attack, and if not, I'm going to be very disappointed. It's kind of assumed he did. Now, looks like we have a Zealot here. He's checking the gold. If he checks this base, he'll find that, and that'll be a nice cancel for him. Maybe not a cancel, but we'll definitely have to send more probes, or another SCV with some units. The thing about Raws' position here is that PBBB just has more army, has more workers, has more bases, but PBBB is getting his main back, and the main's a very defensible position without like some kind of recall or something. This is a very safe spot. Here's a scan. Scan comes in here. Looks like Raws cleared up another drop. It's pretty good for him. And these are going to be Templars? Zealots, okay. Yeah, Raws is down to 28 probes after that drop right there. It's not good. He thinks he has to attack, and he might have to. Oh, if he picks these off, that'll be huge. Oh, he doesn't get it. Doesn't get it, but those storms are ready. The tanks siege up, and the best thing for Raws is probably just to not engage here. Just don't fight. He's going for it. It's going to come down to the storms again. PBB's army is all split up. The storms are awful. Well, awful for the Terran. They're really good for Raws. So much damage here. What a trade. Now, where is PBB's army? Is it all in production? No, he's got nothing in production. Where is it? Is this it? 25 Marines, 8 Marauders. Oh, it's over here doing a drop. Double drop right when Raws hit his front. That might actually cost him a lot. That's like 20 supply that wasn't here. Raws is pushing in. The army's even out. Bunch of Zealots come here. Force this to lift off. Raws will have to keep an eye on it. Over here, he's taking out some of the production. Stargate goes down. Moving in. There's no tanks. The tanks would really shred this army. The Marauders will too. And it looks like he's going to have to deal with it. Oh, he pushes the drop away. He moves in here. He's taking out some depots. PBBB's army's pulling back. He's actually down to 1 mining base. Raws might have a chance here on 30 workers with a mass stalker. How many Templars are in here? He has a 4 Templars still. Really good job keeping those alive. We have storms. There's one. Turn moves out of the way. some feedbacks on this, especially these two medevacs back here might kill them. That might be a good idea. And then we have Storm. He pulls out of it again. That one whiffed. But the Stalkers are doing their trades. There's a tank now, though. He's not going to blink on that tank or just back up. On the other side of the map, he's about to lose this Nexus, but he does bring his Zealots in time to cancel that once again. And he snipes this command center. That was an orbital, too. And he backs off. More Zealots rally, and he needs to charge those onto this tank. They have a little bit of support, but that double drop still not back yet. If the PBBB can get those back, he's not getting it back. He's dropping the main. Raws is going to lose some production. Rallies over a bunch of Zealots. Their side of the map, he's going to pick off the production. PBBB's actually running out of production here. He has what? 1 factory and 2 barracks. He's not going to be able to build stuff. The Ghost is the answer to the Templars here with the snipes, but gets feedbacked. Okay, so here's where we're at right now. Raws has done a ton of economic damage to PBBB. He picked this off, and he killed the production. That's the big story. PBBB just doesn't have production. On the other side of the map, Raws doesn't have probes. He's got 16, just built a couple more. Now he's at 20. He has no probes, and PBBB has no production. Game of people fighting in their last stands here. They're not going down without a fight, and this fight's pretty brutal. Oh, he picks off the drops! That was huge. Raws can leave now. He can leave his base now. Those double drops are gone. That's 20 supply. His army's now bigger. They were very close, but that's 20 army supply. It's just gone. And he's going to move across the map. He's going to attack. PBBB does have workers, but he doesn't have production. Look at his bank. 2k minerals, 1.5k gas. He can't spend it. Raws killed all of his production buildings, and he didn't rebuild. He needs to throw down barracks like right this second if he wants to have a chance here. But he's not. He's getting a CC. He's mining with mules. Oh, this might be it. This might be the killer blow. Level 3 weapons on the way. Raws having level 1 armor, 2 weapons. Terran just on 1-1 with combat shields and stim. Raws with the upgrade advantage. Raws with the army advantage. Raws still not with the worker advantage. Still down by 10. But PBBB, he's got 3k bank. He can't spend it. He's got no production buildings. Raws killed them all. He's got 3 barracks now, but I think he threw them down too late. I think it might be too late. 1 Zealot finds his base. Now, will Raws go for the kill or we go for this base? Looks like he's going to go for the... We'll see what she goes for. PBBB can't fight this. He has to back up. He has to back up. His army supply is growing, but the advantage is definitely on Raws' side. The Ghost could change something here. Feedbacks, though. Great feedbacks, and he's forced back. Tank's still shelling away. These units are just not attacking. He's moving back and forth. I don't think that's what you want. Oh, and that storm. Another storm. And PBBB's army getting demolished. And there's the GG. Raws takes a crazy game.